We have an update regarding crimes involving the Hells Angels of rape and assault up in Eveleth, Minnesota. At this point, Paul DeBellick has been charged, and Jacob Holm charges are pending, and it appears charges are likely pending against others in this incident. A reading from the criminal complaint with the names of victims and/or officers omitted. Quote, on November 28th at approximately 6:15 p.m., Chief Lindy, Eveleth police chief, observed a male limping around and hiding near the Eveleth Police Department. Chief Lindy signaled for the man to come inside. The male, identified as Victim 1, was shaking, appeared scared, and broke down crying. Victim 1 indicated he lived out of town and denied medical attention. Victim 1 arranged for a ride, and the chief dropped him off. Another deputy reviewed city cameras from Grant Avenue. The footage appears to show Victim 1, a male, leaving the Hells Angels clubhouse on crutches around 6 p.m. with two males in pursuit of him. The victim crosses Grant Avenue, crosses through the shortstop parking lot, and proceeds toward the general direction of the Eveleth Police Department. On December 1st, the victim and an adult female identified as Victim 2 spoke to special agents from the Minnesota BCA. The Victim 1, the male, had what appeared to be bruising and an indentation on his leg. Agents learned the Victim 1 was concerned the Hells Angels could find them. Jared Paul French, the president of the Hells Angels Iron Range Charter, informed Victim 1, the male, that he could no longer associate with Victim 2, the female. This caused tension, and the male victim refused French's request. The special agents further learned that on the morning of November 27th, Victim 1, the male, and Victim 2, the female, were at a residence on Summit Street in Eveleth. French arrived at the residence, as well as Eric Anthony Newman and Hells Angel prospect Jacob Austin Holm and Hells Angel prospect Paul Anthony DeBellick, referred to herein as the defendant. Charges have already now been filed against him. Victim 1, the male, fled upstairs and hid, fearing French would assault him. Jonathan Cooper, a boyfriend of a resident at 615 Summit Street, eventually let the group in. French and the others found Victim 1, the male, upstairs. He was dragged downstairs and repeatedly punched and kicked, with French as the primary aggressor. Newman grabbed Victim 2 by the throat and dragged her to the base of the stairs before she was forced into a bathroom. Inside the bathroom, the defendant, DeBellick, penetrated the female with his penis. Newman was also inside the bathroom. The female victim blacked out for a period of time. The special agents further learned the group brought Victim 1 to the Hells Angels clubhouse in Eveleth, where French continued to assault Victim 1, the male. Victim 1 was punched and kicked repeatedly as other members recorded the event. French informed Victim 1, the male, he had to remain at the clubhouse for the next few months and could not leave. Later, on November 28th, Victim 1, the male, using crutches, was escorted off the property by a prospect to make some purchases at the gas station. Victim 1, the male, decided to make a run for it, ditched the crutches, and proceeded toward the Eveleth Police Department. On December 8th, agents and others executed a search warrant at the Summit Street residence. An agent noticed the home was extremely filthy, but the bathroom was spotless, and a bleach jug was on the floor near the sink. Officers also collected items of clothing in the home, consistent with the description the female victim gave of the clothing she wore on November 27th. On December 8th, an agent spoke separately with two males present at the Summit Street residence on November 27th. Cooper and Nick Rollstone, both acknowledged French and others showed up at the Summit Street residence. Both acknowledged French assaulting the Victim 1, the male. Both indicated the male victim was brought outside to a van. When asked if Victim 2, the female, was raped by anyone, Rollstone started crying and said no. An agent also reviewed the city of Eveleth street cameras and observed a dark van pull up adjacent to the Hells Angels clubhouse on November 27th at approximately 12:55 p.m. A male appearing to be the defendant, Dabalik, exiting the van, walking to the rear of the van, and proceeding to the clubhouse. A person appearing to be victim one, the male, slowly exit the middle sliding door and walking toward the clubhouse with another, French and Newman arriving shortly thereafter in a Ford Taurus and proceeding into the clubhouse with the rest of the group. The footage also showed victim one, the male, exiting the clubhouse with another male and leaving in a Ford Taurus around 7:43 a.m. on the morning of November 28th, before returning with French and others around 11:20 a.m. On December 12th, victim 2, the female, provided a statement to the agent. She indicated the defendant threw her on the floor in the bathroom, speaking about Dabalik, and removed her pants and made her perform oral sex and had vaginal sex with her. The victim indicated Newman then also had sex with her. The female victim indicated both the defendant and Newman held her down during the assault. The female indicated after the assault, French told victim one to clean themselves up and shortly thereafter escorted victim one from the residence. Unquote. That's all from the criminal complaint with some names and graphic descriptions omitted. At this point, Paul Dabalik is charged and appears charges are pending against others. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNewZ.TV.